What's going on, team? Happy freaking Monday. I hope you're having a wonderful morning so far. Yo, I got my glasses on and we're about to get nerdy. All right, because we're going to talk about stress and weight gain. So, something that we all experience, right, in today's world is stress. And if you ask someone how they're doing, they'll either say, "Oh, I'm fine," or "Oh, I'm busy," or "Oh, I'm just I'm so stressed. I'm stressed out." Right? Sound familiar? Well, here's the real question. Is stress affecting your ability to lose weight? And it absolutely could be. All right? Everyone deals with stress, but it's how we manage and process it that will determine whether if it helps or harms our health. So we're going to break that down, starting with what happens when you experience a stressor, right? And so not all stress is bad. A little stress can be super beneficial, all right? It triggers adrenaline and helping us get things done. So, like exercise, for example, is a form of stress, but we all know that exercise is super beneficial for us, right? The issue comes when stress becomes a constant factor in our lives, like a chronic stress. All right. That's when it starts to take a toll on our bodies, our health, and our weight. All right. So, what happens in the body when we experience a stress? Because it can come in all forms. It can come from scrolling on social media, you see something, your blood pressure elevates, being chased by a bear, an unpaid bill, or not knowing where your next paycheck is going to come from, relationship struggles, and even a car accident, right? All of these are stressors. And despite them being wildly different situations, your body reacts the same way to all of them. All right. So we have the stressor, and now we enter the fight or flight mode. So here's the process when it comes to this, all right? And this is where we're going to get nerdy. So your amygdala, all right? I know it's a tiny little thing in your brain, all right? Tiny little piece in your brain. But your amygdala is your brain's emotional center. All right. So it sends distress signals to your hypothalamus, which is your body's command center. Okay, so we have emotional center, brain emotional center, and body command center. All right, and so in response, your body increases blood flow. All right, so stressor. The amygdala takes that stressor in, it starts to digest it, right? And then your body's response is increased blood flow, expands your peripheral vision, sharpens your senses, boosts your adrenaline, releases stored glucose for energy. You're basically turning into a superhuman. All right. This reaction is designed to protect you in life threatening situations. The only problem is chronic stress. This, the chronic stress keeps this system activated when it shouldn't be, turning into what should be temporary into a long-term issue, right? So think of your body as a fire alarm. All right. So a fire alarm in your house stays silent until you burn toast or bacon, right? But if your body is under chronic stress, it's like the fire alarm is constantly blaring and you've just stopped noticing the noise, right? Makes sense? Okay, so hormones and the stress cycle. So after the initial adrenaline surge, okay, again, we're stay on the nerdy train with me, all right? So after the initial adrenaline surge, all right, the hypothalamus did its thing. Now your HPA axis, okay, so which is your hypothalamus, your pituitary gland, and your adrenal glands. Okay, so again, these are just more parts in your brain. All right, all of this is done in your brain. So the HPA axis kicks in and it releases cortisol. Ah, now everybody's paying attention. We've all heard of cortisol, right? I'm like, oh yeah, cortisol's bad. Okay, well, calm down. Cortisol helps you stay alert and revved up, which is why high stress individuals thrive on stress, right? So they crave high intensity workouts. They have packed schedules. They drink pots and pots of coffee, and they get minimal sleep. I am calling myself out now. Besides the sleep, I sleep like a baby most of the time. Anyways, okay, but over time, chronic surges of cortisol and adrenaline disrupt your body's natural balance. Okay, so how does this stress affect our weight? Well, we had mentioned cortisol before, and we'll go into a deep dive into cortisol like in a couple of videos, but your body is deeply interconnected. All right. And stress doesn't affect just your mood. It impacts fat storage, water retention, poor sleep. Y'all, it impacts so much. All right. So, with fat storage, chronic stress again raises blood sugar, which triggers insulin, and that excess glucose that isn't getting used gets stored as fat and often found around the belly due to increased insulin receptor sites around that midsection. All right. Water retention. Your body holds on to water when it senses stress, leading to scale fluctuations, and even when your diet stays the same. All right. Poor sleep. Y'all, stress can disrupt sleep so much, which further increases the cortisol and makes losing weight harder. All right. Other effects of chronic stress: a decreased brain function and memory, increased inflammation, weakened immune system, digestive issues, sleep disturbances, joint pain, acne, breakouts, all of it. All of it stems to stress. All right. And so, how do we fix it? We fix it by managing our stress effectively. All right. So, some practical ways to reduce stress is get active. Y'all, exercise, even though that it is a stressor, it lowers stress, it boosts your mood, and it improves your mental health. All right. There are different types of stressors. All right. And we can talk about that later. But y'all, even though the exercise is a stress, it has been shown time and time again over decades, over centuries of studying exercise. It has been shown that it lowers chronic stress, it lowers your stress. So get moving. All right. Eat a nutrient dense foods, all right? Eat a nutrient dense diet. Try to avoid those ultra processed foods. Yeah, you know those foods that you really want to grab, that you want to hesitate or like gravitate towards and sneak in and turn into a little gremlin eating out of a chip bag. Yeah, those foods that you tend to crave when you're super stressed, try not to. All right. And I know I like y'all listen, I'm preaching to the choir. This is why I cannot have those pop chips. Yeah, or popcorners. Can't have them in my house. I can't because I will eat the whole damn bag. All right. But y'all, try to avoid ultra processed foods and fuel your body with the right nutrients. All right. Try to limit screen time. All right. Y'all, social media is a beautiful thing, but also it is a hidden stressor. Be mindful of what you are consuming, of what you are feeding your mind. All right. You can teach the algorithm in the Instagram, in the Facebook, whatever social media platform you're on. You can teach the algorithm what you like. So if you're seeing all like political shit and whatnot and you don't want to see it, then you can go in and like say like mute or don't see anymore. All right. And then the algorithm will learn that and then go to like puppies or something or traveling or hunting or whatever, fishing, right? And start liking more of those types of posts. The algorithm will learn. All right. But again, limiting screen time is also super beneficial. You want to prioritize vitamins and minerals, all right? So, nutrient densities, again, nutrient dense foods, diets impact your mood and stress response. Practice self care, y'all. You can't pour from an empty cup. You got to take time for yourself. And practicing self-care, I might actually do another video on this. I'm getting so many ideas just from this video. But y'all, self-care does not mean that you put your feet up and you sit into the couch and you just turn into a sloth, right? All day. Like that is not self-care. Self-care is going for a walk. Self-care is putting your freaking phone down. Self-care is feeding your mind, feeding your body with good stuff. All right. Again, filling up your cup. Meditation, prayer, church, whatever you need to fill up yourself, do that. Go out for a hike, go out for a fish, go out for whatever. All right. But practicing self-care is not putting on a mask and drinking a bottle of wine and eating a bag of chips. That is not self-care. All right. A couple more. Reduce caffeine intake. Y'all, too much caffeine can actually mimic the effects of stress on your body. I may or may not really be really bad at that. Okay, next one. All right, so spend time with loved ones. Okay, so with this one, all right, social support is a natural stress buffer, and make sure that like whenever I say loved ones, I don't necessarily mean like family that you don't get along with, right? I'm talking about the people that you can be real with. The ones that you like, hey, listen, I actually I'm not okay, right? I need to talk about X, Y, and Z, right? So loved ones like that. Social support, people who support you, who know what's going on. Set boundaries and learn to say no. Y'all, you got to protect your time. You got to protect your energy. Learn to say no. Avoid procrastinating. Y'all, use the power list. All right, to stay on top of tasks and reduce overwhelming. Procrastination isn't something to boast about. All right, procrastination is just continuing to feed that overwhelming anxiety monster. Just eat the frog and get it done. All right. If you have two frogs, eat the biggest one first and get it over with. All right. Last one. Practice deep breathing. All right. This actually activates your body's relaxation response. So even just taking like if you're in the office or something, taking like 10 seconds. Seriously, like 10 seconds. Five, three. We'll even cut it down to three. Three big breaths in your nose, out your mouth. Y'all, it activates something in our brains and it helps relax it. All right. It can bring your blood pressure down and lower your heart rate. Y'all, final note. All right. You cannot out supplement your stress. While supplements can help, some supplements do wonders for your health. But real stress management comes from your daily habits. All right. If you're not managing your daily habits, then you're just, again, feeding that anxiety monster. All right. Take care of yourself, fill up your cup first, do practical stuff. And the list that I just had listed off, all right, rattled off, pick two of them. You're like, you know what? That's a lot. Like that, yeah, that list that you just gave me to help reduce my stress just gave me more stress. Okay, pick two things. You're like, okay, I'm gonna move my body, I'm gonna get active, and I'm gonna breathe. That's what I'm gonna do because I need my coffee. Perfect. Okay, start with those two. Start with one, right? Even if two seems too overwhelming, do one. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go for a 15-minute walk. There you go. 15-minute walks. There you go. It'll help lower your stress. Just get active. All right. I hope this helps. I hope this brings a little bit of a new perspective to your stressors in your life. All right. And I hope that you are able to manage them better. I hope that you are Yeah, that it just brings a little bit more awareness to you. And I hope you learned something. So, if y'all have any questions about this, please drop them in the comments below. I'm happy to answer them. And then if you have another topic that you want me to cover, like cortisol or supplements or an exercise, like a deep dive into exercises, other than, the exercise of the day, or exercise of the week, please let me know. I'm happy to cover anything. All right. So let me know. Other than that, have a wonderful Monday.